The Heist Battleground Mars Grandmaster is live right now on Destiny 2. It's a tough one, a hell of a lot of fun though, and in this video today I'm going to guide you through how we managed to take this on and complete it time after time. Hey, what's up everyone? First, thank you for watching this video today. Please give it a like and a share to support it, and also subscribe if you're new to the channel for more Destiny 2 content. We have a great community as well, so once you're done with the video today, come and check it out. It's linked at the top of the video description if you need any help with the game whatsoever. So how this video is going to go today, it's similar to the one I did last week for the Proving Grounds Grandmaster. We pretty much got a nice method nailed down on this. We completed it, we farmed it to try and get the God Roll weapon. I think it was a Mindbender that was attached to this Grandmaster, and we got a decent strategy. So we go through the Grandmaster. I give you hints and tips along the way of how we tackled each encounter in each area, so hopefully it does help you. On top of that, we'll go over the Adept weapon that you can get and the God Rolls and things like that. The first thing that we're going to go through is builds. I'm not going to go through exactly every build that we use because there's so many different build and loadouts and ways that you can do these Grandmasters, and you've got to stick to what your team is good at. I will let you know though what works for us and what I highly advise that you do on your builds. Now, as a free, we use 2 strand builds and a solar hunter, just like last week with the Grandmaster, and it worked a treat. The strand is very good at crowd control. I feel this is great for Grandmasters, especially all the champions that you get. So I do highly recommend the strand build, but this can be done without strand as well, you know. Now with strand, you've got a lot of means of dealing with the champions. The champions on this Grandmaster are unstoppables and barrier champs. So they're not too hard, you know. With strand, you can basically put them in the air, you can do the damage that is needed. It's quite easy to stun them, but I always recommend having something for the barrier champs. And there's loads of options for this, of course, but one thing that we did go and get out of our inventory or stash in the week was the Wish Ender combat bow. If you have a hold of this, this is absolutely brilliant and perfect for these Grandmasters, especially with barrier champs. You get the Kreen's Wrath there while aiming down sights with a fully drawn bow. Enemies behind walls are highlighted, and arrows pierce shields, which is strong against the barrier champions. So when the barrier champions do put up their shield, this is going to stun them. And it's unlimited ammo, you know, it's just your normal ammo, it's kinetic ammo, I think. So you don't need to look for special ammo or heavy ammo or anything like that. You can use this all the way through the Grandmaster, and it's very, very strong. There was our Solar Hunter that had that equipped, so they had that to deal with the barriers, and then they also had a weapon to deal with the Unstoppables to stun them as well, and the other 2 of us, including myself, was using strand builds, which enables us to use whatever weapons that we wanted to, because like I said, the strand is great against champions anyway because of all its abilities and suspending, so it enables you to go away from the weapons that you need to stun them and use weapons that you want to use, which is a good way of doing it. The second thing I advise, I think what is very strong, especially on this Grandmaster, is a heavy machine gun. I've got a God Roll corrective measure. I'd much rather have like a legendary machine gun over exotic here to free up an exotic space on one of my other weapons. And this works very well. I'd have your whole team running a heavy machine gun if you can. This is going to make ad clearance a lot easier, and it's great to use against the stronger enemies to get them down quicker as well, especially when you stun the champions. And having your build set up across your team to drop heavy ammo. If we go over to the mask here, you can see I'm using some mods to give us heavy ammo quite a lot. So we have heavy ammo finder, increases the drop chance of heavy ammo. I've got 2 of those mods on my mask there. And the heavy ammo scout, so when I do drop a heavy ammo brick, it also drops from my squad mates. We're all set up like this, so heavy ammo is dropping quite consistently. And on this Grandmaster, they do a good job of giving you some heavy ammo crates as well. I explain later in the video of when best to use these. What that basically does, it enables you to use the heavy machine gun there as a primary weapon through a lot of this Grandmaster, making things a lot easier. The rest of the build you can set up to how you like, really. You know your own build, you know what you need, but a few things that I would recommend is on the chest piece, you want to set yourself up quite defensive. You're going to have a lot of incoming damage. We had a lot of discussion about this and how to do this. There is solar threat. you are taking more damage from solar enemies, but we found that that wasn't so hard to manage compared to the wizards in the final boss room that were doing arc damage. So we threw on an arc resistance mod because of this. I also threw on a concussive dampener mod, which reduces the incoming area of effect damage, again just to help against those wizards in the final boss room, because that area of effect damage from their attack was real difficult to deal with. So both of these mods helped with that, made it much easier. And finally, I have a sniper resistance mod, which reduces incoming damage from enemies at range, again helping against those enemies in the last room, because they're always at range from you, and it really does lower that damage, making it more manageable. And on the boots, just make sure you're set up for the weapons that you're using. Because I was using my machine gun a lot of the time, which is Void, I went with 2 Void weapon surges, and I went with 1 strand for my main. There is an argument here to go all Void with how often you can use that machine gun if you do have a Void machine gun. And that's pretty much it for the builds. They're the things that really helped us out and made things a little bit easier on this Grandmaster. And before we move on to the Grandmaster itself and guiding you through that with some hints and tips, this is the weapon that you're farming for. It's the Mindbender's Ambition Adept. Bear in mind, you've got to kill all champions during this Grandmaster for this to drop. If you don't, the normal version will drop for you. So make sure you're doing that to get the Adept version to give you those extra mods and extra perks or whatnot. And it used to be a real good shotgun for PvP. This, I was reading about this, and everybody used to use it before it got vaulted. They've brought it back now as a Nightfall exclusive reward. Not meant to be as good as it used to be, but it is still pretty decent. I've got about 4 or 5 of these collected. I've gone through my rolls, and I don't think I've got anything that's god roll. I've got a few decent ones, but if we head over to blueberries.gg, we can have a look at what the god rolls are for this weapon. So the Mindbender's Ambition PvP god roll is you're looking for a barrel with small bore, corkscrew rifling or barrel shroud, a magazine of accurized rounds, perk 1 threat detector, perk 2 fragile focus. For PvE god roll on the weapon, you want a barrel shroud and then the magazine to be the assault mag with perk 1 lead from gold or auto loading holster, and perk 2 1-2 punch or incandescent. This weapon is still viable with other rolls though, so if you don't get those god rolls, it is worth checking light.gg out. You can see they've not rated it just yet. Just like with last week, we've got to wait a few more days. So I'm just keeping hold of the ones that I've got for now. And when you go into them, when they do update the database, you'll be able to click into the weapon here on light.gg and you'll go down to all of the perks. And I'll advise you what most people are using and what, you know, what perks are good. So even if you don't get like the god roll perks, there might be some good secondary perks you can use that still makes yours very good. I'm now going to take you on a journey through this Grandmaster, giving you some hints and tips along the way. You're looking upwards of 30 minutes to complete this, to even like the cap of 45 minutes where you lose your revives, or even longer. It can be quite a long one, but if you're hitting it about 30 to 35 minutes, you're doing a good job. The start of this Grandmaster is very easy. You're just going to take out these red ads, and then you're going to have 3 points of interest. Those are A, B, and C in like a game of domination in a way. It's kind of like capture the flag, but you don't need to go onto the flag. That's the main point here. So we did it in the order of B, then A, then C, and we found it quite easy. So the position we are in now is kind of like where we stayed. We cleared the enemies that were there. And then you just got to shoot out these rocks that are kind of like on the flag to start off the encounter. So once all the enemies are cleared, just get rid of the rocks that are on the letter that you're going for. And that's going to start this off. That's going to charge up at this point. So you can see the icon there with the blue bar. You basically got to charge all of that blue bar. But enemies are going to attack that and stop it from charging. So basically just from this position, just keep on killing the enemies. But you are going to get champions. The champions, along with the knights, are your toughest enemies here, so be careful of them. You can see there's a barrier champ there that you got to deal with, and there's an ogre behind that barrier champ as well. That is unstoppable. Once you've done those 2 champions, it is just knights and other minions that you got to deal with. At the end of capturing B, a big boss is going to spawn in. You can see him on screen now, this knight. He's got a lot of HP and he's going to hit very, very hard. So again, use your machine gun to cause damage, maybe even use your supers. But once B is captured, he is going to start making his way over to the A flag to go and capture that. So as he makes his way over, you just want to push past the B flag there, and you're going to be fighting the boss from this angle here, just under the bridge. He'll stay in that sort of area, and you can just stay here and kill him until he goes. With the knight down, you're then going to go and capture A, and this is probably the most difficult of the three. Still very manageable, but yeah, we just found this one the most difficult one, and some people prefer to start with this one as well and go A, B, C. It really doesn't matter what order you do these in. I'm just explaining the order that we did. But once you've cleared all the ads around this area and you start shooting the rocks off of A, there is something that you're gonna want to do. If you don't do it, things get very difficult. So just make sure all the ads are clear, and once they are, get the rocks removed from A, and an ad is going to spawn up where I am on screen now. It's very important you get this ad dead quickly. So just suspend him, stop him in his tracks, and kill him. If you don't, that death tongue is going to go to that plane that's flying around, I believe, and then that becomes active and then it's going to attack you, and you just really don't want that to happen. So make sure you kill him, and then it's just a case of, like it was with B, you've just got to kill ads until you capture A. We pretty much stayed in this position. You're going to have two unstoppables at this point in the form of ogres. Again, you're going to have knights as well. So make sure you deal with the knights and the ogres efficiently. And the rest of the ads are quite easy. They'll spawn around the area though. And it's this location here where we felt we had good eye lines on all the spawns. With A captured, the ads are going to make their way to C. And you may notice that heavy ammo crate there. Even if you're out of heavy ammo at this point, I strongly recommend you leave that. C is very easy. You don't need that heavy ammo now, and it's going to make the next area you go into easier if you do leave it. I'll explain in a few moments. With A and B done now, we're going to go over to C, and the position we go in for C is just this location here. There is a spawn of ads that keep on spawning here. They're quite easy. You can manage them, especially with one strand build, get them suspended, and they're easy work. And yeah, we just do it from here. We shoot down to C. So once all the ads are clear in the area, shoot the rocks off of C to start this encounter. With the encounter started, you'll get a spawn right away, and this is what the spawn looks like. It's only difficult when you get like multiple shielded enemies spawn, but again with strand and suspend, they should prove light work for you. And once you clear the enemies that spawn here, you can just focus on the ads that are down towards C. Again, your toughest ads are going to be the knights and the champions. But I think there's only one champion here that spawns. I think you just get one ogre, which is an unstoppable. Once you've dealt with that, you've just got the minions and the knights and the spawns back here to deal with. With C complete, the enemies will despawn, and you're going to get access to a laser to get you into the next area. You can see the laser on screen now, so you're just going to want to pick this up to clear some debris that you need to clear. And it's at this point now that you want to go back and collect that heavy ammo crate. It's going to give you full heavy ammo, and the thing is, in this next area there is another heavy ammo crate. So this is why we're doing this, so we can double up on that and give ourselves the maximum heavy ammo we can get for this next encounter. So make your way back over here where A was and collect this heavy ammo. And then with the laser, you're going to clear out this debris and enter this area. Now, the first thing you want to do is just get one of your strand people. I did this because of my barrier with the Titan. I'm just going to suspend all the enemies that are in the area to begin with. There are two champions, but with them suspended, you can get yourself into position. You want all of your team up here on the top of the steps. And I don't use my heavy weapon right away because these ads you just need to clear to kind of like start the encounters. So just use your primary weapons to take care of them, saving your heavy ammo. And with the ads clear, you need to go and deploy your ghost. Now, how this works is your ghost is basically going to charge up. You need to get to 100%. Enemies that reach the ghost will stop that. You'll need to clear them and reset up your ghost to keep the charge or the hack going. Enemies will drop like ghost fragments or whatever that can speed up the hack process, but collecting them can be risky. So we just stay up here at the top of the stairs and deal with all the ads this way. You're going to have multiple barrier champions, you're going to have multiple unstoppable champions, and you're also going to have ogre bosses. The ogre bosses are the biggest threat. They can kill you at a range from up here quite easily, so be very mindful of those, and just watch your right flank. You can see I'm on the left flank here at the left stairs where we came up. My other two teammates are towards my right, and they're keeping an eye out on the right spawns, which will be knights, and they can be deadly if you miss them. Having one person in this position and just stranding the champions as they make their way to your ghost is advisable. The longer you keep the champions and the ads off of your ghost, the quicker you're going to get this section done. One run that we actually did, we got to 100% hack without any of the champions stopping the hack, and it went very quickly. I guess that is your aim. It's hard to do all the times though, because some champions, they will basically transport and teleport rather, and stuff like that, and they are gonna stop your ghost at times. So when that does happen, just clear the ads, clear the champion stopping the ghost, and restart the hack. You'll carry on from where you left off. You can see now that I'm getting low on the heavy ammo that I restocked with before we came into the area, and the ogre just spawned too. Just behind you here is the other heavy ammo crate, so when you do run out of that ammo, you can restock to full heavy ammo again and go again. And this is on top of all the other heavy ammo bricks you're going to be dropping. You pretty much got heavy ammo for this entire encounter, but just as you saw there, be careful of that ogre boss when it does spawn. It can kill you very easily. Once the hack progress gets to 100%, you are done with the area, and all enemies in the area are going to despawn and you're ready to move on. It's one of the hardest sections of this Grandmaster. Not the hardest though, we've still got the boss room. But from now to the boss room, it is pretty much straightforward. You're going to have this section here. We just got to run through and dodge these red lasers. Don't touch them, they will kill you. And once past the red lasers, you're going to come outside. There's going to be a red laser on you at this point, and if that gets all the way to the top, it's going to be an insta-kill. So just keep on moving here. Don't stop moving. You're going to jump across this rock formation here. You will have the red laser charging up. As long as you're quick, it's not a problem though. And as you come down here, there are some ads. A nice little safe spot away from that red laser is just across the way where you got to climb up anyway. We just jump up here to kill the ads from here. There's nothing special about these ads. They are all just minions and very easy to kill. There might be one knight or two. But once all are clear, you're going to climb up to the top. A nice little shortcut for you, rather than go the way that you probably know of. Just jump up here onto the pipework. You can take a right, and then you can just jump up here. This is so much quicker than going the way it kind of like intends you to go. This is where you can then hack the door open to go into the next area. This area isn't difficult at all, especially with your strand build to suspend all the targets. Just deal with the enemies. There are going to be knights, and there will be 2 barrier champions to deal with as well. With all the enemies clear, you are ready for the next area. You are going to want as much heavy ammo as you've got, so hopefully you've got plenty. And you want to work in a team here to get access to this door in front of us. There's 5 seals on the door that you've got to get rid of. You can only use the lasers that are in the area to deal with them. There's 2 lasers. So how we do it is one person goes towards the right laser as you go in. It's the easiest one to get. You get the laser, you bring it to the door, and you take out some of the seals. Once that laser runs out, you go back up to the right again. It will respawn, and you can pick it up again. You've got plenty of time, and you just want to make sure you destroy all of those sort of seals on the door in that time. The other 2 people, while this one person is doing this, are just manning this door. You're going to get a load of ads coming through it. Just make sure you're killing them all and you don't let them overwhelm you. It's quite easy to begin with, but once you've destroyed a seal or 2 on the door, you are going to start getting wizards and knights come. And that's when it can get a little bit difficult, and that's where you're going to want your heavy ammo. I guess the toughest part about this, along with the wizard and the knight, is the fact that if enemies get close to you and you kill them, they have that scorch that goes on the ground that can burn you. Just be mindful of that, and just make sure that you stay alive. Basically, use your strand to suspend them. It's ideal to have the 2 strand builds here if that's what you're also using, because you can slow them down that way. And just let the other guy in your team get those seals done as quick as they can. You can see there's 1 minute 30 left on the clock there, and as long as you complete this section within the time limit and get all the seals on the door removed, you are given another crate of heavy ammo. If you don't do it in time though, out of that door, it is going to open and you're going to get an additional champion with additional enemies, and you won't get that crate of heavy ammo. So it's well within your interest to get all 5 of those seals done within the time limit. And there you go, objective complete. We destroyed the 5 seals within the limit, so the door just opens and here's the heavy ammo crate. So that makes things a lot more easier. Again, if you don't do those seals, you're going to have a much more difficult time and you won't be able to have that heavy ammo. This is the boss room though, and we're going to explain how we do this. Now, this is like a 3-phase boss fight, and the first phase and the third phase are real easy because of a cheese spot that you can use. Now, You can see Milkman's just started off the fight. So this first phase, what he's going to do is he's going to get the boss's aggro. As soon as he's got that aggro of the boss, he's going to take the boss over to the far corner away from where I am now. He's going to basically jump up in one of the pillars there. There's a nice little spot for him to sit up high, and he'll keep the boss's aggro, and he'll be able to bring down the boss's health by himself. So that's what Milkman is doing. You can see him just to the left of the screen there. I will show you the location in the third phase of this fight in a few moments. But the other two people, so myself and Dragonov, we just stayed around like the center of the area, more over to this opposite corner of the room, and we just dealt with the ads. They are very easy at this point. The only problem you may have are the wizards with the solar shields. You will need to watch them. As I said at the start of this video with the mods, I am equipped with my defensive mods here basically to deal with them. Without those mods, the wizards are much more difficult in this area, which is why I'm set up like that. With this method, you'll easily breeze through the first stage of this fight. Milkman will let us know when the boss's health is low and he's ready to basically take him down to half health, and that's going to start the second phase of the fight. The second phase of the fight is the toughest part. It's where we wiped most. Straight away, as soon as it starts, you're going to get two champions in the center, and you want to focus them. There's an unstoppable champion, which is an ogre. Get him down as quick as possible with your heavy ammo. There's also a barrier champ, so you want to suspend the barrier champ as well and get the barrier champ down as soon as possible. At this point, the boss is quite slow, but he will still be approaching you, so you got to be mindful of the boss. One person, like Milkman, will still be keeping the boss's aggro. But once you've got rid of the barrier champs, no more champions will spawn, and you've cleared all the champions for this Grandmaster, which means you can get the Adept shotgun when you complete it. And with the barriers gone, then the ads will just keep on spawning. So you're going to keep on getting knights, you're going to keep on getting minions, you'll keep on getting wizards. You've still got the boss to deal with, and there's probably going to be clutch moments here where you just gotta revive your team. I had a super on which gave me a lot of resilience, so I saved my super in case there was a moment I have to clutch up where I could just throw my super like I did now and go and get the revives. This saved wipes numerous times, and I highly recommend it. But now, with the champions gone, it is just a case of managing that boss who is moving around slowly, managing the ads that just keep on spawning, and there's going to be ads there that you can see with the marker above their heads, that when you kill them, they are going to drop orbs. These orbs, you've got to go and place in the center of the area where you start this boss encounter off. You've got to place 5 in total. Once you've placed all 5 of these orbs, you move on to the final phase of this boss fight, which is very easy with the cheese spot. As a team, I suggest just keep on moving around. You can see we still got the barrier knight up there. You want to get that gone as quick as possible just to make things a bit easier. He finally died there. And yeah, just manage the ad spawns. Just try and stay alive as much as you can. And what Milkman had on him to help with the orb deposits is on his hunter, he was able to go invisible. If you can do that, and if you have a person that's able to go invisible, have them doing the orbs, because they can go invisible, they can run into the center there and just place the orbs quite easily. But the other way of doing it is just making sure you have your strand people basically suspend everything in the area and manage the central area, or use their supers when they have them to clear the central area, just to make it easier to get those orbs in. With the 5th orb deposited, the boss is going to lose his shield. He's still going to get all the ads spawning in. And what you want to do now is make it to the cheese spot I mentioned earlier. So where Milkman was in this corner of the room, you can see here now where he was positioned. You're just up here in this gap on the pillar, and the boss is just going to follow you. He can't cause any damage from here. No other enemies can cause you damage from here, and you can just freely shoot him in the head. So if you've got some heavy ammo remaining, start with that, and then move on to your primary once you run out with that. And if you've got your super to finish him off, you can do that also. It's a very easy way to finish this fight. And there we have it. Once the boss is dead, all of the ads in the area are going to despawn, and you're going to get your rewards and complete the Grandmaster. It is a difficult one. Like I said, it's going to take you anywhere from like 30 to 45 minutes on some good runs. It took us 32 minutes for this one. And you're going to get your Adept shotgun, ascending shards, and the rest. And don't forget, one of the other rewards that you're going to be getting from completing Grandmasters, which is a new thing, is you're going to be getting cipher fragments. If you come over to Zavala at the tower, you can see these when you go and focus decoding, and once you've unlocked the Adept weapon, you can then focus into that. So you get those Nightfall ciphers. You get 1 or 2 per run. It's not consistent. I got 9 while playing this in the stream and getting the completions that I got as one shot. But if you do get 10 ciphers, which is the cap of having these, by the way, as well, you can come here. You can use your Vanguard, Engrams, some shards, and Glimmer along with those ciphers, and you can get another version of that weapon to see if you can get that god roll that you're looking for. And that brings us to the end of this video guide for this Grandmaster strike on Destiny 2. I'm going to be covering every Grandmaster in this way. It's the first time I've ever taken Grandmasters on the game. They're very enjoyable and they're challenging content. So if you do want to see the last one for Proving Grounds, that's already on the channel, and the future Grandmasters for this season and beyond, I'll be doing the same. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Also, like and share the video to support it. And now we're done, come and check out our community if you need help with this. The link is down in the video description at the very top. Until next time, I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and peace out.